Hi people, let me just stop. All I can hear at the moment is Ard's voice. Yeah, am I live? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, so what I want to do today is discuss a syndrome known as fibromyalgia. Now, this pain syndrome, but it's more than pain, really. It's like fibromyalgia is an umbrella term for a whole lot of symptoms, yeah. And some people don't believe in these symptoms. Some people do believe in them, but then when they get so severe, they start to question if it is actually fibromyalgia because the symptoms are so severe. But the first thing you need to note about fibromyalgia is the following. Yeah, fibromyalgia. Bloody thing. I'm just going to call it fibro. Yeah, fibro is secondary. Yeah, you guarantee you will always have a first illness, and fibro comes as the second illness. But sometimes, occasionally, you'll get fibro first. Yeah. And then you go to the doctors, you got fibro, but you can guarantee within a 4-week period, yeah, no longer than that normally, you will be diagnosed with some sort of health problem, which the doctor will take far more seriously than your actual fibromyalgia. Do you understand? Let's see. The symptoms of fibromyalgia are manifold. Yeah, I mean, jeez, there's so many. Right, let's go through them. Pain and tender points. Now, I think there's 10 to get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. There is not a blood test. Okay, so let's discount that. No blood test. Yeah, it's simply by the symptoms in your doctor's knowledge. Okay, but there is 10 pressure points in the body which will tell a doctor when he examines you if you've got fibromyalgia. Anyone who tells you there's a blood test for fibromyalgia, they must be, there's not for fibromyalgia. Now let's have a look. Fatigue, yeah. Sleep problems, yeah. Concentration and memory problems known as fibro fog. Now, brain fog is bad. It's really bad. I know people who have got in their car, and they're not going far, and it's probably a journey they've took every day, right? But they've got in their car, they've started their journey, and they've had to stop because they can't remember where they're going. And it's a constant battle to remember, yeah. And then all of a sudden your mind will clear up and you know where you're going. Every time I do this, hang on, guys. Every bloody time. Bloody time wasters. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, and then the brain clears up and you can think normally and clearly again. It's a very common symptom, yeah. I mean, some people have actually thought they were getting dementia. It's very scary, and people do think they're actually getting dementia when they're not. Anxiety or depression. No, which comes first? That's what you've got to ask with anxiety or depression. Does the depression come first, i.e., then you get anxious with anxiety, or does the anxiety come first, which then makes you depressed? That's a bit like the chicken and egg. That is an ongoing argument within the realms of psychological science, if you like. People can't decide if depression comes first, then anxiety, or anxiety, then depression. For me, I don't think it really matters. I would say either way, they're not good, are they? Let's face it. Does it matter which one comes first? That is an ongoing argument at the moment. And morning stiffness, anyone with fibro, who's listening to this, will know exactly how that feels. Yeah. Numbness and tingling in hands, arms, feet, and legs. Yeah, that's another very scary symptom. Yeah. And headaches. And this is all under the umbrella of fibromyalgia. Yeah. All these symptoms come under that one umbrella of fibromyalgia. Now, the best way to be with fibromyalgia is to obviously take your pain medication, but also to learn self-help. Now, when you're in the throes of a flare-up, they call it a flare-up, yeah. The last thing you feel like doing, yeah, from my understanding, is self-help. You just want to curl up in a ball and cry, because the pain is intense, it's there. And you'll often get partners that don't understand, or family that don't understand, because you look the same, but you're in pain. So I always think, a good way of educating partners or family is to, just make them go online and look at fibromyalgia and look at the symptoms and look at how it makes people feel. There is actually, let me think now, there's a very good forum, yeah, very, very good forum for fibromyalgia on a website called, I'm trying to get the name exact so you'll be able to find it, Health Unlocked UK. That's Health Unlocked UK. I'll put the link later for anyone who wants to go there, yeah. It's good in the way that there are thousands upon thousands of people who suffer with fibromyalgia in these forums, and they do help each other, I've noticed, yeah. They in fact, they go out of their way to help each other with different symptoms that because not everyone gets the same symptoms, but everyone will have had that symptom at some point, if you understand what I mean. Also, a lot of people, unfortunately, get sent to therapy when they have fibromyalgia, and normally the therapy is a psychiatrist, yeah, who will sometimes want to play about with your medication, because if you're feeling say you're feeling a bit depressed, right, but the reason you're depressed, okay, is because of the fibromyalgia, why then do you need to see a psychiatrist? You know why you're depressed, yeah. The pain, the daily pain, yeah, is depressing you. And I think anybody who is in all over body pain is going to get depressed. So it baffles me sometimes when I see people going off to see psychiatrists because they're in pain. Yeah. Now, normally what a psychiatrist will do is pretend they know all about fibromyalgia when they don't, and prescribe some sort of antidepressant that is meant to be a magic pill and take the fibromyalgia away. It won't. What helps with fibromyalgia is painkillers, pain relief, sorry, and willpower and understanding from other people. There's nothing worse than when someone's in all over body pain. To say, pull yourself together, it's not that bad. Oh, blah, blah. You know the sort of things people come out with. And actually, it is that bad. It's very debilitating, but it's not recognised enough by society, I don't think. The only people that recognise it are psychologists, doctors, who like to put it under a whole umbrella of symptoms, and obviously the people who suffer with it. You also get problems with water infections, irritable bowel syndrome. So then you have to start and change your diet because, of course, your body's reacting and changing. So all of a sudden, the things that you used to be able to eat, you can't eat. And irritable bowel syndrome is a whole new other illness all on its own. So let's count up. So we've got anxiety and depression, right? Now, both anxiety and depression are illnesses of their own, Then you've got irritable bowel syndrome, another illness all on its own, So that's 3 illnesses under this umbrella of fibromyalgia, Now, this is where it's important to understand that sometimes, just sometimes, don't put everything down to fibromyalgia. If you're not sure at all, don't be afraid to go to the doctors and say, oh, I've got this pain, I've got that pain. Don't think, oh, you're wasting the doctor's time, because you're not, That's what they're there for. So, that's another tip. If you get a new pain all of a sudden and you're not sure, make an appointment or speak to your doctor or whatever and get it checked out. Don't sit there and automatically blame on fibromyalgia. But to have all over body pain isn't funny, and the pain can be deep, as in how do I put it here? Deep as in bones, like so it's like in every bone in your body, and it can be sharp and it can be throbbing, or it can be just like a constant ache from your head to your toes. Just a constant ache from your head to your toes. You'll have very tender points in your body where you just won't be able to stand anybody to touch it. People say their wrists are very tender. Others will say their shoulders are the parts where they can't bear to be touched. So if you're diagnosed with fibromyalgia, because I've been looking online, and when I see, I'm going to be very honest, when I see people who I know are in the forums and they say that they've just been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, my heart goes out to them, because they seem to think that, within weeks or months it's going to go. When in fact they have to learn for themselves that it's not. It's not going to go. Even if the first illness is being treated, by the doctor, which, fair enough. The secondary complication, i.e. fibromyalgia, just won't get better. You'll have good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks, but it's going to stay with you, And it's that part where you need to see the psychologist. Now, a psychologist obviously cannot prescribe medicines, right? A psychiatrist can listen and understand and be able to give you tips and tools on how to combat it, how to deal with it on a daily basis. But once again, I want to add, when you're in the throes of it, when you really have a bad attack of fibromyalgia, the last thing you want to do is actually move. I don't think people understand it well enough. I know people don't understand it well enough. Never mind, I don't think. I know, because I've seen it. So what I want to do, instead of me just chattering on, I'll try and get that the forum up I was mentioning about. So I'll try and get that up for people who may suffer with it. And another thing, just like mental health, there seems to be a stigma attached to fibromyalgia. No, that's very unfair. There shouldn't be any stigmas attached to anything. If somebody's ill, chronically ill, why must people add these stigmas? Why must they make fun? It's not funny, And I find the people who make fun of such things are obviously people that, are quite ignorant about chronic illnesses of any kind, So I'll just try and get in. It's a very private health. I'm going to be able to get in that way. It's very private, the forum. I'll try and get in this way. Very private forum, and it helps thousands of people. I can't. It really is good if you're feeling all alone. And if you're feeling down and in pain, this forum is the place for you, because these people are going to help. And also, this forum is for many other illnesses too. It's not just for fibro. No, I think it covers a lot of illnesses. It has different hubs, for different kinds of illnesses. And I've noticed just how popular this one forum is becoming. And slowly it's built up to the point where God knows how many thousands of people join it and seem to actually get help from it. And I came across it because of my thyroid. Because I needed a hormone called T3, which, surprise, surprise, I can't get prescribed in this country because it's too expensive, So I went onto this forum to find out how other people without a thyroid, and they don't convert their T4 to T3, get T3. And it's amazing the lengths to which people go to get hold of T3. So I'll share my screen in a minute, just to give you, let you see people. But I've got to be careful here. Oh, do you know what? That's better. So what we do, I think, yeah, I'll just get into it and then I'll share my screen, because I don't want to be letting out people's, obviously, people's names or anything else. But I can't recommend this forum enough. I really can't. Simply because of the answers. Because obviously when I went looking for my T3, I mean, you know, how other people get T3. You know, being the inquisitive person I am, I had a look to see what else they do. So let's see, they do anxiety support. And then they do anxiety support for New Zealand, people in New Zealand. They do support for liver. They do support for PTSD. They do support for mental health, living with anxiety, fibromyalgia, and of course, the one I was mentioning, that's the thyroid. Well, non-thyroid in my case, yeah. So I'll share my screen now. I'm sure some of you will have buggered off by now because it's not drama, it's actual, sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Share that. It's actual sense I'm trying to, oh, right, okay. I'm trying to help people. Okay, let's go here. Now, in this one, you see, so this is the actual fibromyalgia site, yeah. See, you've just got to look at this one thing, yeah, this woman here. She's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia by both an NHS rheumatologist and a private consultant. I have also seen a neurologist. Anyone knew that I had what's it say here? CTE. Now that's a new one to me because I don't know what CTE is. Here we go. I have been let me just get rid of the name. I have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia by both the NHS rheumatologist and a private consultant. I have also seen a neurologist. Everyone knew that I had head injuries in the past. Oh, okay. I have been refused PIP. Now, this is really, I'm sorry, but I get really angry about this. Yeah, I have been refused PIP and I am waiting for the appeal. But I have also complained to them directly, described elsewhere. I don't know. My basic frustration was that I have no test result or scan to prove what I have. Now, I understand where she's coming from, yeah, that she has no test result. You can't, with fibromyalgia, you can't. As for the other things, I don't know. If this lady's had other problems, surely there must be something, she can get off the doctor to say, oh, here we go. I had a standard MRI that was asked back for one with a tracer in my blood so they could see the tissues and the blood vessels better. Okay. The result was that I have chronic traumatic something, the words they use, encephalopathy or something, right? And an anchoid cyst. I have not been able to speak to my GP yet, surprise, surprise, but these two things can explain symptoms of fatigue, pain, migraine, mental confusion and mental problems. Most people do not know they have conditions, and so if they only find it out if they have an autopsy when they pass away. You see, I'm starting to disagree with this woman already. Yeah, starting to disagree. We're going to come off this one, right? We'll click on this one. I don't agree with all that because, you still get people, even in these forums, that doom and gloom and want to frighten people or want to say, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with these. The ones that write like that, I think what they're doing, they're out to scare the actual people on here that do suffer. So we've got one here, yeah. Hi, I'm new here. Also not brilliant with technology. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia 2 years ago after about 5 years of pain in most parts of my body and chronic fatigue. Just told age and arthritis. Okay. I'm now 61. Change of GP and chronic pain physio diagnosed. Had gabapentin, pregabalin, tramadol, Jesus, amitriptyline, but can't take as bad side effects. What with amitriptyline? What side of what? Amitriptyline's got to be one of the safest old style drugs there is. Tramadol, pregabalin, and gabapentin are pregabalin and gabapentin are actually the same tablet. Do people know that? So they brought out pregabalin, yeah, and it was doing weird things, so they changed it to gabapentin. So hey, there you go. Waiting for first rheumatology appointment, in constant pain and very little sleep. Anyone got advice, please? GP and physio say I'm overdoing it, looking after the family and grandchildren. Why are you doing that at 61 years of age? But you get used to pushing through the pain till you're exhausted and can't carry on. Does anyone else feel this? I think as people can't see anything wrong with you, they think you are okay. Sorry, this sounds like I'm moaning. It doesn't matter about moaning, yeah. You have a right to moan. Also, does anyone know how to get info on filling PIP forms in? Never claimed anything in my life, so not sure where to start. Thanks so much, regards. Well, everything that lady's spoken about is more or less classic. Absolute classic, Morning. Oh, where's that gone? All I'm doing is I'm trying to show you this for anyone that suffers with fibromyalgia. Morning, hope you're all well today. I just wanted to ask if I may, being signed off for work for 2 weeks by my GP due to go back Thursday. Don't think this will happen. I was signed off with fatigue and aching in shoulders and collarbone. Now, all of them are classic signs of fibromyalgia. For the last week, lower back pain, and even got stuck in a chair once or twice. For a few weeks now, I've been feeling breathless, just getting dressed, can't stand for a long time. Even to make a cup of coffee, pain starts going down my legs. Whenever I do seem to make out of breath. Also, shoulders popping for a few weeks, but not really painful. Just looking for some advice, and thank you in advance for your thought. Lady, you need to get back to your doctor and ask for a full blood test. Yeah, this is what I do, is ask for a full blood test of your thyroid, everything. Yeah. And I think you need to have a really serious, talk with your doctor about fibromyalgia. if he hasn't diagnosed it. I mean, I don't know if you've been diagnosed. I don't want to go into the rest of your thing too much, but that's what I do. But everything you've got, it's like classic fibro. And also fibromyalgia is progressive. Yeah. I know, that's interesting because this lady here is saying she's confused. Seems the disease or condition did not become widespread until 20 years ago. No one ever heard of it, or was it diagnosed with it? Now, as far as my knowledge goes, it used to be called something else before, yeah. But because the symptoms become so widespread, they gave it a different name. I mean, fibromyalgia basically just means all over body pain. Yeah, that's basically what it means. So let's see. Well, one question not being on this site too much, on the PTSD one, how much pain, how does pain feel for people? I mean, I know it is supposed to be different for each one. Mine feels like radioactive toxins have been poured in my body, and it hurts 10 over 10 all over. Or can I describe like flu symptoms, but 1 billion times the pain? Yeah, I guess that would do it. Flu symptoms along with 1 billion times the pain. I've had to be on tramadol for the last 10 years. Fatigue so bad cannot get out of bed sometimes, and other days can do more. As I said, you get good days, bad days. If feeling well, can go to the mountain. If cool, heat is unbearable. Yeah. What is hurting in fibro? What is it from? Why so many sudden diagnoses within the last few decades? Migraines, 10 years. An ability to tolerate heat above 65 degrees. Yeah, the heat kills people. So does the cold, though. And sorry, that was the wrong phrasing. The heat really does make fibro worse, but so does cold weather. Yes, one other question. How do you know we have fibro and not cancer? Now, I've come across this question so many times. So, yeah, I'd like to address this question now because fibro is progressive, as in it will progress to a certain point, then just stop and stay at that point. Yeah. But, if you have cancer, the majority of us will not live for 10 years. If you have cancer, you're going to know you've got cancer, Fibro, don't never confuse it with cancer. But on the other hand, if you get odd pains that you haven't had before in your journey of fibromyalgia, my advice is always get it checked with the doctor. Don't put it down to fibromyalgia immediately. Yeah. Go to see the doctor. So they say no tests for cancer. They do not suspect it, even with swollen lymph nodes. No. And under jaw for 3 years, and told if it gets bigger, hard, come back, take it out and test it. You see, this is just what I was talking about earlier. Some people, when the fibromyalgia gets really bad, yeah, when it gets really painful, yeah, they can't accept it. It's just fibromyalgia. And I get that. I really do. But I don't like things like this because people who have accepted they've got fibromyalgia, they accept it, they get on with their life, and you don't need to be like that, with No, just bloody computers, honestly. So let's have a look at this one. Having a bad day, folks. You've all been so lovely to me. I'm new. I'm at work but feel so low and alone. Arms and shoulders weak. Having stabbing pains in both shoulders, twitching calves and feet. GP tells me it's anxiety and neurologist won't do any more tests as they have ruled out anything. And it's all anxiety causing it. Anxiety caused by the pain, by the way. Have to drug myself with amitriptyline to sleep and for pain, but jolts and twitching in the night wake me up. Yeah, that is your anxiety that's doing that, definitely. Like the jolt, where you wake up during the night, that's your anxiety. Feel exhausted, legs feel like jelly, yeah, and feel I have internal shakes. Just feel like crying all the time. Sorry to dump on you, but just feel so alone. I don't have a diagnosis. Christ. As I think I have health anxiety. Anyone else like me? Now, it's these sort of people that I really feel sorry for. Yeah, because, the doctor's saying she's got health anxiety. Jesus Christ. With all that pain, I don't get it, right? She's in all this pain. She's going to the doctor, right? She's imagining all kinds of things are wrong with her. So, yes, she's going to be a little bit anxious, right? She's been to see a neurologist, right? They've said there's nothing wrong, but she's still in body pain. This is because what happens is the neurons and everything in your brain with fibromyalgia starts to send the wrong signals to your body. Yeah. So it does all occur in the brain. It'll start to send all the wrong signals right through your body, and that's when fibromyalgia becomes chronic. If you've had fibromyalgia for 3 months, odds are you're going to have it for a long, long time. Sometimes it'll clear up for 6 months and then it'll come back again. I've seen so many different people with different kinds of fibromyalgia. And it's very sad. And it's a condition that is not recognized enough. And the reason it's not recognized enough is just like mental health, really, because nobody sees it. You can't see it. You can't touch it. It's not like a broken leg. It's like the fatigue bit. It's like a lingering tiredness, yeah. And you feel drained, right? You feel absolutely drained, yeah. You don't want to move. You can't be bothered to move. And then you get someone saying, oh, get up and exercise. Well, that's the last thing, people want to do. You feel like you've actually done a marathon when all you've done is get out of bed. Yeah. And literally, you are whacked. And all because you got out of bed, right? Now, that sounds like, I don't know, how can I put it? To people who don't understand fibro, they will be thinking, oh, she's talking rubbish. She's talking rubbish. I'm not talking rubbish, okay? That's how it is. And that's how people, are with all the rest of the symptoms. And I just want to say that it's not a funny condition, okay? So if you know somebody with fibromyalgia, right, remember that person will have another illness, may have another 2 illnesses on top of that. And they're trying to cope with the illnesses as well as his fibromyalgia. Don't laugh at them. Try and help them. Try and understand them. Yeah. Because when you're sitting or trying to get on with your day with all over body pain, the last thing you want is somebody to be laughing or making fun or deciding, oh, never mind, it's not that bad. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a talk every day on one thing or another. Now, if you want to hear more about fibro, let me know. If you're bored of fibro already and you don't want to know, that's fine as well. But I will say, go to that forum. Go to it. Sign up if you've got fibromyalgia or depression, anxiety. I mean, it does many, many illnesses, yeah. It's a very, very good forum. It is not like the forums on Facebook or anywhere else, okay? And I think a lot of people will actually, get help from this forum. But please, people, yeah, let's remember, life is for living, but life is, we are here to help each other. So it's not clever to laugh at people with illnesses. It's not clever to laugh at somebody who says they've got all over pain and go, oh, don't be stupid. Take a Anodin. Anodin wouldn't touch fibromyalgia. Yeah, wouldn't make a bit of difference to fibromyalgia. One thing that does work with fibromyalgia, by the way, meditation. Yeah, meditation definitely works. So that's my little talk. If you didn't like it, sorry for boring you. Yeah, but I'm sorry, but these sort of things are my favourite subjects. Yeah, my absolute favourite subjects. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.